Hi guys, today I am going to teach you about IELTS essays. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. So please subscribe my channel, Know One Cook, and watch my other videos in this description below. So first essay question is opinion type essay question. With the increased global demand in oil and gas, undiscovered areas of the world should be opened up to access more resources. To what extent do you agree? So here we are talking uh, about searching for black gold. Black gold means fossil fuel and gas. So there is a concept that undiscovered or unexposed areas to humankind should be opened up to access more resources. So they are expecting about your agreement or disagreement. So it is argued that due to the enhanced international demand in fossil fuel and gas, the remote locations of the earth should be exposed to gain enormous amount of these resources. Even though there are supporters for this suggestion, I reject the people who admire this concept for several reasons. This essay will look at them in detail with a summary. So, this is the kind of introduction for our essay. So, first, we have to talk about the question. We have to rewrite the question like this using similar words. That means using synonyms. Here we can see undiscovered. So, I used what I used unexposed like terms, unexposed places, undiscovered places mean unexposed places, and I used synonyms such as enormous for big, large, huge, and I use synonyms for world as the earth, and remote locations for undiscovered areas, and I used fossil fuel rather than using oil and gas. So likewise, we have to use synonyms and describe the question again, rewrite the question again, even though there are supporters for this suggestion. I reject the people who admire this concept for several reasons. What are the reasons? Reasons will be explained in body paragraph 1 and 2. First of all, large-scale mining for fossil fuel sources in unexposed places in nature will destroy animal habitats. The reason for this is that these clearings will cut down the trees where birds build their nests, kill cocoons of endangered pollinators, and spoil the life of ocean. For example, in 2017, here we have to give an example, no? When giving an example, you can give any example, even though it is a lie, it is not true, you can give that example. But grammatically, it should be correct. In 2017, an Australian team of scientists came here looking for fossil fuel in the sea bed and dig up the ocean near Jaffna region in Sri Lanka, creating disturbances for the reproduction process of blue whales. Blue whales are significant around the ocean near Sri Lanka, which is situated situated near India, just above the equator. So that is why I think that disturbing unexposed places in the world while searching for the fossil fuel and gas has a negative influence on natural habitats of fauna. Here I use Latin word fauna. Actually, fauna is used by scientists to explain animals. Flora is the plants and fauna is the synonym for animals. Because as I am a scientist, I am an agriculturalist, I know about that. Therefore, I use that term. So, secondly, digging up of undiscovered sites. So, I use the term sites for the locations to replace regions, to replace areas. I use the synonym sites. So, in nature, for fossil fuel is a natural disaster. This is because finding of more fuel and gas will increase fossil fuel burning, and it will increase the global warming. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, etc. will trap the heat from solar rays in the Earth's atmosphere, enhancing the average global temperature. At present, according to the researches conducted by the International Organization of Meteorologists, the average annual global temperature is around 15 Celsius degrees. They also concluded that if it is increased that the above then it should be then increased. I had done a mistake. Increased than the above mentioned value, the glaciers in Antarctic and Arctic Ocean will begin to melt, increasing the seawater level. So glaciers will be melt due to the high temperature. Therefore, the sea level will be increased, go higher, higher. So it will cause new tsunamis. Tsunamis is a plural word for tsunami, and sea erosion like catastrophes. Catastrophe is a synonym used for disasters. Catastrophes, disasters, harmful effects. So around the world, because of these reasons, I believe that searching fuel in unexposed areas of the world is not a great idea. Foresight. Looking forward is the meaning of foresight. So to sum up my writing, this is the summary of the essay. This is the second. About the summary, we did body paragraph 2. That means second body paragraph. To sum up my writing, I reiterate that opening of undiscovered regions of the world looking for fossil fuel and gas has many drawbacks since it will boost the natural habitat destruction and the global warming. So I have quoted this one from Frank Lloyd Wright because I remember that citation. Therefore, I quote it. I think it is better for your increase of marks. You should speak. You should use citations or the quotations like this. Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature. It will never fail you, by Frank Lloyd Wright. So this is the way of writing a citation or quote. So let's move into the next essay question. Some people think that environmental problems should be solved on global scale, while others believe it is better to deal with them nationally. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. So it is, let's see my answer. It is considered by some that Global involvement is required to solve problems facing our environment, while others think that they should be handled at a national level. In my opinion, I consider that we can use rather than using in my opinion, we can use in my point of view. Synonyms you can use. I consider that most of the environmental problems that impact a large proportion of the world should be solved at that level. To begin with, some believe and I agree that humanity today is faced with challenges impacting almost all countries, and a global effort is required to solve these. In other words, the modern world problems related to temperature rise, greenhouse gases, the impact of non-renewable energy on the environment affect entire continents. Consequently, there is an urgent need to cooperate and work together to find resolutions to these matters globally. This kind of effort will result in sharing of resources, expertise, and investments, which will be a much more effective and efficient way of resolving these complications. On the other hand, it is thought by some that environmental trouble is best handled locally, since certain ecosystems and controversy associated with those are intrinsic to a localized region only. Thus, these would be best dealt with at the regional scale. For example, the challenge of saving and protecting a certain species of animals needs an understanding of the unique factors and obstacles of that area, which would require specialized local solutions. Therefore, regional knowledge and know-how would be critical in helping understand the issues and formulating a specific plan of action to tackle them, which would not make sense for it to be replicated in other parts of the world. In conclusion, there are varying views on how the environmental challenges should be handled. In my opinion, the ideal way to deal with these arguments is at a global level, as this will lead to faster and longer lasting resolution. So let's move into the third essay question. In many developing countries, there is a problem with declining quality of air and water from both industry and construction. What measures could be taken to prevent this? During the industrialization, during the industrialization and construction period, many developing countries face issues with water and air pollution. Although there will undoubtedly be some negative consequences of this trend, solutions can be taken to mitigate these potential problems. There are several problems related to this trend. The main issue is there will have more people who get diseases as they have to live in areas with low air quality and use unclean water resources. The rate of people getting cancer or gastrointestinal disease increases high. Citizens with poor health affect the nation's economy, and the government will therefore be under more pressure on healthcare. Another problem is environmental pollution. There would be a rise in natural disasters such as floods and droughts because of extinct species and an imbalance in biodiversity. Finally, this causes the Earth to become hotter, affects the global climate, and leads to melting ice at two poles. However, several actions could be taken to solve the problems mentioned above. Firstly, manufacturing companies need to build industrial waste systems. All acts of discharging into the natural environment should be strictly prohibited and punished. These systems will reduce the amount of industrial wastewater entering people's domestic water. Secondly, the government should enact awareness raising policies for businesses For example, constructing industrial parks far from residential areas in order to restrict direct harm emissions. Thirdly, the nation should encourage the use of solar energy and renewable energy in manufacturing and construction. Clean energy not only saves energy, but it also saves for workers. In conclusion, various measures can be implemented to tackle the problems that are certain to arise as the environment of developing countries grow poor air and water quality. There should be a full stop. Let's move into the fourth question of essays. It is often considered that change is more beneficial to people than trying to avoid it and have everything remain the same. Do you think the advantages of change outweigh the disadvantages? Some people believe that the changing process has more pros than cons. I personally support the opinion that there are more points in favor, such as the good impact on our neurons, even though sometimes it requires a big effort. To begin with, it is proved that our brain becomes stronger when constantly subjected to different tasks. For example, the process of learning a new language makes the person improve some areas of the brain never explored before. The specialists affirm that learn new subjects is also one of the preventions of some mental illnesses. So, in addition, according to the neuro-linguistic programming technique, traumas can be treated by changing the path that the neuron follow. The good example is when someone is afraid of being alone, the therapists will find the main reason for that and change the way your brain acts. However, the decision to learn a new activity can be stressful due to the big effort involved. For older people, it's generally more challenging because they had already built a comfortable zone. Furthermore, modifying a common routine for many can provoke mental confusion and even depression. To illustrate, a computer system change in a company I have worked provoked mental confusion and impossibility to keep working in 1% of the staff. To conclude, for the majority, an updated life or any task is positively received, but I cannot assume that it works in the same way for some due to any previous condition. I used to say that the only constant in life is changing since I believe there are more wins than failures. Let's move into the fifth question. Most people agree that money cannot be happiness. Why is happiness difficult to define? How can people achieve happiness? While few people relate happiness to money, there are others who firmly believe that contentment can never be achieved through wealth. Different people have varying perspectives about being happy, and there is no single definition of it. In fact, here it should be simplified. In fact, all individuals have their own ways of achieving pleasure. Humans are the most beautiful and intelligent creatures of the God. Of the God, this power of intelligence enables them to think and distinguish themselves from their peers. Although some people feel contented with being rich, however, there are majority of persons who feel prosperous with their family ties. For example, for such for a successful entrepreneur, earning a profit of $1 million may not sound fascinating, but for a rickshaw puller, a tip of $50 is like a dream come true. In our society, people link happiness to achieving have-nots in their lives, and thus it has become cumbersome to give a universal definition of being happy. The best way to achieve the state of being contented is to recognize the haves in one's life. People need to change their way of thinking and interpreting the things. The misconception of being affluent is equal to being happy needs to be broken. For instance, the happiness index used to determine the contentment level of the citizens of various countries across the globe has shown that the developing countries are higher in the ranks than the developed ones. It shows that financial stability has little to do with the satisfaction level of the citizens. Furthermore, it is high time to find joy in the little things around us, such as spending time with the family, cooking your favorite meal, listening to your favorite music, and going for a short walk with a friend. Thus, there are many other ways through which one can attain the state of being contented. In conclusion, with a desire to achieve more and more, people often fail to recognize what they own and eventually ends up thinking money as the only source of pleasure in their lives. It is hoped that people realize that wealth is not everything and there is happiness in every little thing that surrounds us. So this is the end of my IELTS exam essays. Thank you all. Good luck for IELTS exams. Let's meet in another video about IELTS. Please subscribe my channel. No one cook link is in the below description. Thank you.